Man, like any being, is not a divine creation. He is a creation of himself. The creation of one or more gods by man attenuates the mystery, and gives it another name. The mystery, therefore, does not belong to the gods, but to ignorance. The word mystery is one of the masterpieces of the mind. The one, to which divine attributes are given, has nothing divine. Everything comes from the one, because everything comes from the mind. The mind is not individual, it is unique. Thought is mental, and creates the languages necessary for processes, relationships, creations, explanations, and thought itself, which does not act without a language. Silence quiets the mind. The absence of thought is the absence of the mind. The absence of the mind is the presence of the real and unique being. The mind draws and fills spaces instantly. In the mind, there are no absurdities, because everything happens in the mind, including what we call absurd, which is nothing more than what is close to incomprehension. Incomprehension is a mental artifice, like pleasure and pain. Being, mind, and object. The object is the creation. The mind attributes to itself the infinite and eternal that it does not have. The object is justified by others, and is given an importance proportional to emotional understanding. Power is that is, acts that demonstrate dominance and possession. The use of tools, in this sense, is the great enslaving artifice. Dominance and possession stick the being in the created universe. Nothing exists without perception. It is perception that makes apparent things exist. Perception and imagination are synonyms. Dreams also happen in the mind. Reality also happens in the mind. Reality and dreams are not real. Life is a mental process where spaces are filled with things that relate to become part of environments and stories. That's what it means that the universe is mental. The universe only happens in the mind. But the mind creates perception first, so that it itself, the mind, can perceive and perpetuate itself. Nature is the sad form, adorned to be visible to folly. The joy of this coexistence is too strange. The lack of perception of a mask that is invisible, because it has been so well placed, is too strange. To question it alone is sacrilege. But it does not resist careful scrutiny. The being is the jailer and the prisoner of itself. The key that frees it is in the sub-encounters. The being, by being the only jailer of itself, is, therefore, the only one who can free itself. The being imprisons itself through concepts, dependencies, misunderstandings of creations and limits. Concrete world and unreal world are the same thing. There is no difference between sleeping and waking. Dream can be understood as one thing, being inside one, the other, or within layers that succeed each other. Only the being can break with the dreams that it imposes on itself. Arithmetic, logic, and memory make up the object that contains them. Any action or reaction uses these tools. Turning them off is turning off the object that stops interacting with the created universe. The madmen know how to disconnect. Two types of madmen are presented: the sane and the insane. The sane dominates himself and reflects the being. The insane gets lost in the universe.